Hey, Coach Holloway back with you. So, what I want to do today is I want to talk about one aspect of football, the busted coverage. And I want to talk to you about how communication, alignment, and things like that can go into how these big plays are come about. All right, so in this look, the Ravens are showing a blitz, and what they have the DBs aligned in the back to make it look like 1-2. But I had them circled here, or I have the word drop back here because nobody blitzes. It's just to confuse or disguise pressure that they're putting on. But on the back end, if you're going to do that, on the back end, you have to have the DBs aligned and put in a coverage that is favorable to them. So what they have here is they have cover two look on the bottom of the screen. You have the safety going back to a deep half, and you have the cornerback going into a shallow. And then on the top, this DB, I put a question mark. I don't know what he's doing, but he's going against Tyreek Hill, and you got to know what you're doing when you go against him. So he's going into what I think is man or either it's under, but the thing is he's flat footed against Tyreek, who's the NFL fastest man. And I just don't really know what kind of communication between the safeties and the corner was going on because the best thing you want to have is somebody over the top to help this young man. So I had to look him up. This is Jalen Armour Davis, fourth round pick from Alabama, who didn't know who he was going up against, and I think this communication should have been better to get him out of this trouble situation here. He needed safety help, and shit, anybody needs safety help going up against Tyreek Hill. So how this was aligned and how it was executed is just problematic all around. And when you do a fake blitz look like this, you better have some really good DBs behind you to match up. And they didn't have, and so they have a fake drop back, and guys are not really in a position to replace and give some help on this. And then you have Tyreek giving you the peace sign with the band playing in the background. So who do I blame for this play? I'm going to go with the corner at the top of the screen. When that tight end motioned over, he should have known that there was no safety behind him. And instead of passing up the guy, he should have been man to man and did his best to stay with him. Even with that space he gave him, the thing was he was flat footed and there was just no way he was going to be able to recover or catch up. He acted like he thought there was a safety behind him, and that's what started the problem. And here's yet another case of the right hand not knowing what the left is doing. You have different DBs, safeties, and corners that are reading different things and thinking of different coverages. Now, this is actually a great cover one or cover three beater right here with the streaks on the outside and having some conflict on the inside. So you have these guys dropping into a deep third on one side and going man on the other. And the conflict is between these two defenders, the guy over number two and the deep safety, because where he's supposed to go, that's where he gets exposed at. Now you see here this backer of this corner, he's going to pass him up thinking there's going to be a safety behind him. But because of the streaks route structure, the safety was over the outside man. I see this as a miscommunication on both the safety and him. But I also could see this as indicative of the play call because I think if you're going to do that, you need to have some rules like some match coverage, which basically is as soon as the receiver goes vertical, you have to go with him. So at least there's a guy in the vicinity to be able to make the tackle and prevent the big play from going on. Because in this situation, you're having a guy just run free, which is never good. This one is funny because people really know it all too well by now. But in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs had two different plays on a goal line that exposed some of the problems that the Eagles was having in the coverage that they had in that area. So the Eagles had a concept of what they call rocking and rolling, where this corner, you see Darius Slay pointing, the safety is going to drop down into a corner position, and Slay is going to take his spot and to whatever coverage, whether it be just a deep third and covered in the red zone, but he's meant to replace him. But the problem is they have Schuster. Oh, I'm sorry, no, it was Kadarius Toney running that out route right there while he's trying to look back there and communicate that. That's why me as a coach, I'm a little bit old school when it comes to the red zone, man. Just be in zone, stay simple, just cover the man in your space. That's it. This is legit the same thing, although this time it's Sky Moore and you have Bradbury over on this side trying to rock and roll. But same thing, they just catch him sleeping. He tries to go over the formation, and Sky's up there wide open for a touchdown. Yeah, just being too cute on the goal line. I'm just not a big fan of that.